I'm so excited. I'm really excited. You guys are like my little test dummies for the next 3 days. I'm going to be teaching a lot. I'm going to be sharing everything I've learned from 5.5 years of using YouTube myself. Not just learning YouTube, learning video, but how to use it to market several different businesses. But you guys are going to be taking action and making videos yourselves. Not just creating the videos, but uploading them, broadcasting them, and having been seen by the world and by the entire CreativeLive audience. In fact, on day 3, when you guys broadcast your videos, we're going to have a little contest. And we're going to show everybody your videos, and they get to vote or thumbs up. And whoever wins, we have a bunch of really cool giveaways for you guys, including a brand new video camera, a special live mastermind day that I'm doing in May of this year, and a few other cool goodies that we'll be talking about throughout the rest of the time. What else are we going to be doing? I'm going to be launching one of my videos live, and that's really the way I like to teach the most. So the more I can show you through live case studies, examples of past students of mine, we're going to have some special guests come on as well, the better I feel like I can just give you the best of this content, show it to you, the proof in action from other people. So we'll be uploading one of my videos after the break, and we'll kind of check in on it and see how it's doing, the things I'm doing to not just put up a video, but actually see it get results live in real time over the next 3 days. So really exciting stuff. And we won't waste much time. We're going to get straight into the content because there's a lot of stuff. I will take a moment and really address the question of, why am I here? Why am I the person talking about all this YouTube stuff? I have no idea. No, because I don't have millions of views. You know, there are all these little funny YouTube stars that have millions and billions of views. I don't have those. I don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I didn't get TV deals for my YouTube videos. So why me? The answer, and it's really a very simple distinction, besides the fact that I love teaching, I'm totally passionate about teaching, and so that's what I love doing, but I think the real distinction is that I can show you how to make money with your videos, and not just going to the view bank down on the street and collecting, cashing in your views for coins or something like that. Actually integrating this into a solid strategy, online marketing strategy that works with your existing business. And that's what I want to be able to help you today. Because the most exciting thing is it doesn't take millions of views. We're not here to show you how to monetize your videos on YouTube. So if you get millions of views, maybe you'll get a couple pennies per view. That's not the goal here. It's really to broaden your reach, to get your message out to more people, to have more people find you and come to your website and your blog each and every day. And what's so great about you guys, and why I'm so happy with who we have here, is you guys are coming from every different direction. We have different levels of experience. We have people that have never shot a video in their lives. We have people that have done a ton of videos, but we also have people with very different types of businesses. We have physical products, we have brick and mortar, we have authors in the room, we have digital people, online TV shows. So why I've loved teaching YouTube for so long is because I've been able to see it work with so many different people. And those of us who are listening back at home or your office, wherever you're watching, it can work for every type of business. If you're marketing on the internet, you can be using YouTube to get results. And that's what gets me really excited. So really quick story about me, how I got started into all this. And I think, Randy, you asked that, or was it you, Charles, who asked me that? One of you guys asked me that before we got started here. So I thought I'd include that a little bit. I did go to film school. I've had a camera in my hand for as long as I can remember. I've always loved that creative side. But as soon as I started learning about the industry, the last thing I wanted to do was schlep coffee for people and be told what to do. I'm just the worst employee possible. So instead, I became a bartender. I became an employee anyways, and actually got fired from that. But I loved bartending because it was the first taste of something entrepreneurial for me, because I started to discover that if I worked, if I worked harder, I could see more tips in the jar. I kind of had some sort of control over my income, and that was kind of that first taste of like, I can start taking charge of my financial destiny. But I was fired, so I started bartending on my own, and I quickly decided I wanted to take that entrepreneurial vision to the next level. So what I actually did was created my own course, my brilliant idea I had to create an online course teaching people how to bartend. And spent months buried in front of my computer teaching people how to make a martini and stuff like that, and put it up on the internet for sale for 200 bucks. All excited, launched the website, no sales. Nothing came in. I'm like, what have I just wasted 4 months of my life doing? I don't know. Finally, on April, I'll never forget this date, because this is when this happens, this is like the most exciting thing in the world. April 18, 2008, got a little email in my inbox that said, new order for James Wedmore. I'm like, what did I just buy? I don't remember buying anything. And $200, I didn't spend $200 on something. The first person bought my course on that day. And it was like the most exciting experience in the world. And when I actually calmed down from all the like jumping around, I was still living in my parents' house. I was, Mom, someone bought my course. I looked down at the bottom of the order form, and if you guys see, whenever you fill out an order form, you purchase something, it says, how did you hear about us? And their answer was youtube.com. And it was a couple of videos. I had no idea what I was doing, just put up silly videos of me bartending, which if you guys want to be a little investigative snoops out there, you can still find those videos. They're pretty embarrassing, they're pretty incriminating, but they're still out there. And the most exciting thing is, till this day, that product, which I haven't touched, is still making sales. I haven't put videos up there for 4 years, and it's still making sales. And I'm just getting word that we actually have one of those videos of my bartending. So we're actually going to watch it if you guys don't mind. And you just have to promise not to laugh at me too hard. So this is way back when, and we'll check how that goes.
What's up, you guys? James Wedmore here with the Bartend for Profit system. And today I'm going to teach you a trick that I like to call Tom Cruise's flip to pour. And we basically bring it up into the pour and then bring it out. Have a little fun with it, just like that. Oh, that one I messed up. Alright, you guys, this is my baby. This is what I use at all my events whenever possible. This is the BMW of portable bars, as I like to call it. In my DVD section of the Bartend for Profit system, I've got a ton of tricks just like this. I'm going to have a ton more posted on my blog at bartenderconfessions.com. So continue to check out and see what else I can offer. Practice, 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 and hope to see you out there. Cheers.
Wow. And yeah, I really caught a cherry on a toothpick. The magic of editing is it actually took me like 15, 20 times to do that right, but you wouldn't know that because I only kept the one that worked. So that was like 4 or 5 years ago, and a lot has happened since. I've been able to work with some really cool people on their YouTube channels, then finally decided to step up and do my own stuff, which is what I do today. And we'll be sharing some of those other channels I worked on, as well as some other students and case studies of mine. But the last thing I wanted to share before we get into this and start getting you guys really excited about YouTube and the strategy we're going to be talking about the next 3 days is kind of make a little confession that most people, I love when I say this, is most people don't believe it, they don't understand it if they've seen my videos first, is that I'm a huge introvert. And most people don't really understand what an introvert is. They think it just means like a shy, awkward person. I'm like, yeah, I am that, but it means a lot. It means a lot more. Like they're much more reserved people. They're much quieter. They're much more inwardly focused. And a lot of people say like, I could never do videos because I'm too shy. Because and I just say there's no excuse, because if you guys have seen any of my videos, which we'll be showing a few more. I try and go a little overboard and a little wacky out there at times, and that's the whole point. Is for a few minutes a day, I can kind of crank up the volume on myself, give 100% energy, and now I have to do it for 3 days straight. I didn't really think that one through, but I don't want that to be an excuse. I hope, because I know there are a lot of people out there that are introverts. They're shy. They don't even like selling or talking to a ton of people and doing all that networking stuff. And one of the most exciting things at the end of the day, if there was like this like end result that you can see that is kind of bigger than, oh, I made more money, or oh, I have a bigger database or email list or subscribers or views, is that when I go to a networking event with people in my industry and someone comes up to me that I haven't ever met before, and they come up to me like, James, oh my gosh, like, and it's not an ego thing at all, but they treat you like they're in awe to see you because they saw some 3-minute video of you. And it just shifts this this energy of you're the authority and I look up to you. But what that does is it really puts you in the position of power where people are coming to you for your products, your services, your information, your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience, and not the other way around, which is what most of us are trying to do when we're marketing on the internet anyways, which is like, I've got something I want to sell to you, I want to sell it to you, am I annoying yet? Have you unfriended me? You hate me, don't you? And we don't want to do that. Instead, the whole strategy is, I've got awesome stuff that you're going to love to watch, and oh, hey, by the way, if you want to bug me about buying it, yeah, you can do that as well. And so it really flips the table, and I really hope you guys are going to be able to get that this weekend, and that's what I'll have in store for you guys. So, does that sound good? Yeah? Good. Good. We'll talk briefly about this. Obviously, I'm preaching to the choir. You guys are here because you want to learn about YouTube. I don't have to convince you. The hardest thing in the world is when I have to convince somebody to do something that I already love and see results with people, because I want to just get right into it. So we'll only spend a little bit of time here, but I will share a little bit. I just kind of wrote this down for you guys. My mission for you guys in the next 3 days is to teach, share, and demonstrate each step of a 3-step process for getting real results in your business using YouTube, using video. Okay, and at the end of the day, if YouTube goes away, which it's not going to go away anytime soon, I truly hope that the stuff I share with you guys can transcend that, because it really is about having a clear, simple strategy that will work for whatever replaces YouTube, if something ever could in the future. And that's really important, is always having that clear strategy. But we want to do it without excuses. I hope you guys have a mic still. I want to kind of go around quickly, because here's the deal. It's 2013. People are saying now, like, this is the year of video, and I'm like, that's totally BS. Like, that was like 2009 was the year of video. This is the year where if you're still not doing video, we got some serious talking to do. So what I'd love to do is if we could just quickly go around, re-announce your name, and just say what has been the biggest hesitation for you for getting started with video. And or even if you're like, well, I've been doing videos for 6 months, like what was it? What was that block that got you started? And I'd love if our internet audience could type in a few responses we can hear from them. What has been that big block that kept you from taking action with video and YouTube?
So I'm Kate Northrup, and it was that I was afraid that doing a video was like too much about me, and I felt like, oh, it's like ego driven, and so I'm just not going to do that.
Cool. I like that.
I never really had a block about getting started with video. It's actually how I first started, and I have a lot of videos now, but I think as I've created videos, the block that I've had is, like you said, you're an introvert. I'm kind of the same way, and changing my video style or putting myself out there more or straying from what I feel like the videos have to be, it's difficult for me to sort of step outside this box that I've created for myself and make a different kind of video, or add something to this process that I've established. So I think for anybody who has kind of gotten started maybe last year or 2 years ago and is sort of in this mold and maybe not seeing the results that they had hoped for, I think I'd like to learn, and I'm sure they'd like to learn, how to sort of get outside that box and do more with your video, and I think that can be a big stumbling block for people.
Yeah, Krista has a unique issue. You have what we call good problems, where you're already seeing results and it's just about taking it to a next level. So I'm excited to be working with you on some stuff. Brooke, you want to go ahead?
I'm Brooke Kennedy, and for me it was just figuring out what I wanted to do as far as a career, because I was a bartender for many years, food and beverage industry for 17 years, and project management as well, so always working for someone else. And now I've kind of found that perfect fit in skincare. And so I know to get my business out there, this is what I need to do.
Cool. That's great.
I'm shy. My name is Randy Ignatius, and everyone knows when I try to talk in front of an audience, I start to stutter. I'm just like you. I'm an introvert, and I've been a tech all my life. So I'm usually in front of a computer, hunched over, and not in front of a camera. So it's the just that shyness factor, and I don't have time to put videos together.
That's a big one, guys, the time.
I feel like my challenges with getting started, I'm Rachel, have been feeling like I don't have the technology in place, like I can't use my computer camera or my cell phone, and that I have to invest a lot of money in technology to start, and also just not knowing what to do. I feel like I've never really had a primer in how to function with this. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to learn.
Great. Charles?
I'm Charles, and I saw you on the Lewis House before, and I thought this is exactly what I want to do with YouTube marketing. And I had done a lot of private consulting with the kind of business that I'm in. It's kind of a controversial topic, and I wasn't sure that I wanted to be on camera talking about that, and I decided that this is the perfect type of educational format that I want to pursue, and that's why I wanted to be here, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. And we've got some people from the internet. I'm going to write these ones down so far.
Would you like me to read them
Yeah,
off
go
for
ahead and
you?
start
Okay.
reading them. I just kind of want to go over a few of these real quick, though. Fear on camera, the time, and the tech were three of the big ones. Mallory, go ahead and see what else we...
Those are
Yeah.
really similar to what we're seeing online. Original content. Wacko
such a
says,
good one.
camera adds 10 pounds, they say. Not sure what Foxtail means, but it's funny. He says, my block is Legos. Video
That's
edit.
the best response I've ever heard. Not Mega Blocks, no? Just Legos,
No,
huh?
just Legos. Editing. This was a good one from Kara Jacinta. I have too many topics I'm interested in and didn't know which one to focus on. So kind of too much.
Yeah.
Basia Photos saying, I'm nervous about haters and people judging. Quite a few people are intimidated by the post-production work and how to get video of oneself to get it very sharp and nice if they're using the video by themselves.
Oh, there's so many things I want to talk about. Oh my gosh. This is great. Are there more?
A lot of it's similar. Technology, like feeling like they don't have the equipment
Right.
necessary.
Oh, I like this one, Natalie MYOB, to create original content, what hasn't already been shared.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to start with that one, because that original content thing is a total BS. Because what you're really doing, what you're really saying is you're making an excuse here, but what you're really saying is, why me? Why should I be the person that shares this content? It has nothing to do with, oh, everything's already been taken. Of course, every video I've ever done has already been done by somebody else. And I went through this exact same thing. It was the whole why me? Who am I to be sharing this type of content? I don't know if, other than my 30-second pep talk, if I can get you over that hurdle, but you just have to make the decision because I choose to be, because it is me, because I have something to share, and I'm going to say it differently than this guy or that girl. Okay, and that's the only answer I have for that. These other ones, too much time learning how to do all this stuff, even fear in front of the camera. Let's talk about the time, the tech, all that stuff. I'm going to show you simple ways. In fact, one of my favorite students and case studies that we're going to be showcasing today, I was so blown away. We had a conversation last week, and she's been doing a video a day for 6 months, and they're amazing videos. They're better than my videos. And she spends no less than 20 minutes a day. I said, how'd you do that? She's set up an entire system. So we're going to kind of show you a little bit of that over the 3 days, but that's totally possible. The tech can be so easy. It's never been easier right now and less expensive. I mean, we all have camera, whether it's on our phone or a webcam or whatever, but it's never been cheaper and easier than right now to get videos. This one still we have to deal with. When I tell people I'll meet someone, I'm like, well, why aren't you doing YouTube? And they go, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I say, whoever said you had to be? It's really funny that there's already this connection that YouTube means I have to be in front of the camera. And go look at Chris's videos. Half your videos are just you drawing on the screen, and you have 1.5 million views. You don't have to be in front of the camera. In fact, I'm going to show you over the next 3 days a ton of different ways where we don't have to be in front of the camera. But what I'm going to show our lovely in-studio audience members is an awesome way that you can be in front of the camera and still make great videos without having to memorize a script or read from a teleprompter where your eyes are going underneath it, and it's going to be amazing. So we're going to obliterate all those excuses out of the water, and I want everyone who's listening to us on the intranets to be taking action with us. This is a very action-oriented CreativeLive, and that's why I'm so excited. We will have videos. If you want to make videos with us, do it. Let's do it. Let's do it together. But this one right here, why me? You got to just make that decision right now and bust through that, because it is you, you know? It's because no one can make the content like you. You're absolutely 100% unique. So, and because you're watching a 3-day CreativeLive workshop on how to make YouTube videos, that's why you, and no one else is. So that's your answer. Okay, here's some of the stuff we're gonna be talking about. It's not about getting views, because I said there's no view bank downtown where you can just trade in your views for money. We need to trade our views in for traffic. Because if we all have websites, if we're all marketing on the internet, we have websites or something that's like a fan page or some sort of hub where people come to us, well, the more traffic we get there, can that grow our business? If we had, 100 more visitors a week, would that grow our business? Would we get more clients or customers or students from that? Absolutely. So it's about turning these views into traffic, and then what we can do with that traffic. And I want to be able to share that with you today. And we'll be going as far as that. I mean, this is YouTube up here, but if I could take you beyond that, if I could show you what we're doing with that traffic to build a solid sales funnel, to sell more of your products, your courses, your training, et cetera, that's going to make me really happy. Here's some of the cool stuff I want to just highlight and showcase. This is Liz D'Alto, a New York City-based fitness instructor for women, and I helped her with this video. She came to me with like a basic outline script for a 3-minute video, and I said, let me get in here, and this is kind of what I'm going to be doing with you guys. And we just played around with it. We had a ton of fun with this. Filmed this out in New York City, and she had like no views. She had like 10 to 12,000 views when we launched this video, and this video alone got 44,000 views, and was able to leverage her. She spoke at a conference because of it. She was showcased on a really big fitness apparel fan page, and all this really cool stuff because of it. And there's some simple stuff. We're going to be breaking down this video like line by line what we did. There's a lot of cool, like, here's the tip of the iceberg, everything below it, all that good stuff. So I'm going to show you some case studies like this one, which is actually just one video that brings in between 12 and 20 new leads a day. Those are names and email addresses, people who have raised their hand, signed up, and given me their information to say, I'm interested in more of what you have, with just one video, and how we can put this on autopilot, and how I have done that in autopilot in my business. And then, how exciting is this? We're going to have a dear friend of mine, Marie Forleo, the creator of Marie TV. She's at 2.8 million total views. She's actually going to be joining us live via Skype conferencing, so we're going to see her right here on this big screen. And you guys are going to, on the internet, are going to ask her your questions. You guys in the audience get to ask her questions, and we're just going to kind of learn from her, because she's been able to do some incredible stuff with videos, and she's just amazing. If you guys have seen any of her videos, they rock. So that's going to be really exciting. I want to talk about some cool stats that also should get you guys excited and everyone back home about YouTube. First of all, 4 billion daily views. It's getting a lot of traffic. It gets a lot of views each and every day. YouTube is still the largest video sharing platform. It's also considered the second largest search engine. Now that's really important, because a lot of people don't think of YouTube as a search engine. They look at it as a place to just host their videos. And that's where, as business owners, we're going to make a distinction. That's where we're going to make a shift, because people are coming to YouTube to search for questions to their answers, or their answers to their questions. There we go. They're looking for answers in video format. And it's either going to be your answer there or somebody else's. It's not like there's an empty space, like this spot is for rent. Someone is filling it up, and most likely they don't know what I'm going to be showing you, so you can just beat them out really quickly, which we love doing. Video is the most shared form on content. So when everyone talks about, well, I got to be marketing on the internet, I got to be on Facebook. Absolutely, you got to be on Facebook. But what are people doing on Facebook? They're sharing YouTube videos. It's the #1 most shared form of content on Facebook that's not Facebook-related stuff. Which is pretty darn cool. And this was one of my favorite stats, so I had to include it. And this is kind of where this all comes together, in my opinion. This was a recent survey taken on eMarketer.com, which basically summed up the fact that out of all these social platforms everyone's getting so excited about and have been so excited for years, that oh, got to be on Twitter, your Facebook's dead if it's not on Facebook, blah, 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 is YouTube, out of all these they did, is the most underutilized platform by business owners. In other words, everyone's marketing their business on Twitter, everyone's marketing their business on Facebook, and they even said that like the amount of consumers are far fewer than the amount of business owners, but where the consumer pool is huge and the business owner pool is small is YouTube. Most underutilized platforms. So the audience is there, the people are there, your ideal customers are there, you just have to show up and provide some great content. And that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do. It's going to be easy, it's going to be fun. So what does this all mean? Yes, more traffic. I want you guys to get that. I usually tell people when I take them through my courses or anything like that, the first way we can understand what YouTube is for us as a business owner is that YouTube is traffic. If you're marketing online, you really, the simplest, most core level only need two things, and that's traffic and conversions. You need people to get to your website, and then you need them to take an action. So for a lot of people, a lot of the case studies I'm going to show you, YouTube is all that they do. And that's all they need to do to get traffic. Once they get into their website, they get to do all this magical stuff. But there's something else that's really exciting about this. And I didn't include this study, but I'll just kind of say it off the top of my head. A good buddy of mine did a little case study where he sent traffic from all these different sites, like Google search results, Google+, Twitter, Facebook, sites I'd never heard of, and YouTube. And he sent them all to the same page. Now the page he sent them to was a squeeze page where people had to submit their name and email address, an opt-in page where they had to take action, they had to fill out their details. And he tracked the conversion rates, and hands down, YouTube won. YouTube had the most amount of opt-ins and subscribers than any other traffic source, even better than a Google search result. And so basically what we're getting with YouTube is more qualified or higher quality traffic. And why is that? It's really simple. You guys ever stumbled onto a website and you're like the red flags and the alarms going off, like what am I about to be spammed and scammed with? And you're just like, get me out of here as quickly as possible. That kind of goes away if you've just watched a 5-minute video about someone sharing something awesome with you. There's that, like what I said before, when someone comes to see me in person, oh my gosh, I feel like I know you. I've watched all your videos. That rapport is already there. And so it goes away. So when they go to your website from YouTube, they're primed, they're pumped, they're ready to take that next step with you. And that's what gets me really excited as well. So hopefully you guys do. Beyond that, look at someone like Marie. Plain and simple, YouTube can just give you this unstoppable brand where people are coming to you, other opportunities are following your lap. So it's exciting stuff. Let's see what I got here. I want to show you this in action as soon as possible. Like I said, the best way I can teach is be showing you real examples, this in action. And these aren't the YouTube superstars that you might see when you think of YouTube. They're not the viral videos of the cats and the babies that we spend so much of our time watching, or at least I do. So this is a dear friend of mine. This is Alejandra Costello, and I'm so excited to share her stuff first, and I hope she's watching at this point. But either way, you guys should be going to youtube.com/home organizing at home and make sure to subscribe to her, even if you're not interested in what she shares, just because of what she's doing rocks, and it's awesome. I like to call her a professional declutterer, but she probably has a way better term for that. Here's the deal. She created her first video back in, I think it was the spring of 2011, so not that long ago, and she would go to local clients, local businesses to organize their homes and their offices and stuff like that. She provided a service for local business owners. And she said, I got this great idea. I'm going to put a video on the internet to educate my local clientele and jumble up some more business here. Yeah, that video ended up going viral, getting 800,000 views, and kind of skyrocketed, or at least lit this like light bulb in her head to say, I should be making more of these videos. So she did. And today she has 4.7 million views And it's like 2 years, 4.7 million views, and 66,000 subscribers. And all she does is teach people how to organize their life, their finances, their office, their homes, and everything in between. We're going to show a quick clip from one of her videos now. So let's go take a look at that.
This is what my system looks like. I use a mini binder from Staples. These are the Better brand binders from Staples brand. It is the mini size, the 5.5 by 8.5. I like the mini size because it's easy to carry, it's convenient. You can carry it inside your purse or just bring it inside the car. It's not like a big bulky binder. And the inserts, when I show you the inserts, you can see that nothing is gonna fall out. So you're not worrying about like small papers falling out of the binder when they're inside your purse or when you bring them out into the store. So let me grab my camera and show you exactly what the system looks like. Okay, so this is my mini size coupon binder. This is from Staples. I like how it has the window on the side so you can kind of rate what the binder is. And then I put polka dot colorful scrapbook paper in the very front of the binder because it kind of just speaks to my personality and style. Okay, so taking a look inside. So inside the binder, I have lots of mini size sheet protectors.
You guys were thinking maybe some like Hollywood production, like amazing sound. Could you guys do that yourself? It's really simple. She just got the camera set up and she's showing her stuff. This isn't complicated. And like we said, a lot of people think it has to be perfect and amazing, and it doesn't. And she's doing videos like this every week. But what I did ask her and want to share that with you guys right now is that, Alejandro, you've been doing this now for a couple years. What are some tips that you can share? And they were right in alignment with what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So I'm going to take a second. She actually gave me 3. I thought that was so cool. I just asked for 1. And she said something that we're going to talk about in a moment today. And this is like the biggest thing, if you can wrap your brain around this. It's so important. It's so simple, yet it's so crucial to making this all work. And it's the power of consistency. And we'll be talking more about this and how we can kind of set up a consistent schedule. But she basically said that, when she first got started, it took her first month 10 subscribers. And now she's getting between 300 to 500 subscribers a day. But it's because she's putting up videos weekly, and she's being consistent about it. And she's also a big fan of quality over quantity, which I am as well. For the people who had our hurdles about the tech, I love what she says here. This was her tip number 2. She says, my best advice is just to take the time and learn, and that it really isn't as hard as you think it is. The unknown is always scary until it becomes known. So she actually went to the Apple store and did one of those little like Genius Bar sit-in things. Then they taught her how to use iMovie. She did it in 2 hours. She started making her own videos, and she's never looked back since. And our last tip, and I love this one. If you guys noticed it because she demonstrated it beautifully in her video, and I say this all the time, is videos are visual, and the reason people are watching a video is because they want something to look at. So give them something to look at. Okay? The more visual, or as I like to call it, demonstrable, that was actually a Billy Mays phrase if you guys watched Pitchmen. He always said he was looking for the demonstrability. And that's what I want to be looking for. It might be challenging for these in-studio videos we're going to be making, but when you guys go forward, I mean, Randy with the millimount, like if we can't demonstrate that on camera, like come on, that's going to be easy, right? But we want to be aware of that. What can we visually show people? Like she's sitting there showing them, this is whatever that thing was, her coupon book or whatever was doing. You could see the color-coded bookcase behind her. Very visual. If you go to Google right now and you typed in how to tie a tie, which I may or may not have done that recently because I needed to learn how to tie a tie, the first result would be a video. And that video has over 11 million views. And it's really simple because no one wants to read an article or even look at pictures of how to tie a tie when they could watch a video. And so part of what you guys can come up with, which Brooke, with anything beauty, skincare, makeup related, obviously that's a huge niche on YouTube as it is, but people want to see how to do it, what it'll do, the results, etc. There's tons of opportunity, being visual. And that's definitely something I wanted you guys to take away from Alejandra. But did you guys have any questions on her? I don't have her live to answer questions you'd have specifically directed to her, but pretty simple stuff, right, guys? It's good. Let's see where we're at. I think I'll start with you guys. We'll start with Charles this side. What I want to do, and I'd love the internet to chime in as well, if you guys are here for 3 days, and I really don't want to be doing all this talking myself, I really am going to get you guys to get as involved as possible. If you guys, and think about this for a second, what's your number one goal or takeaway that you want to get out of this event? What will make you the most happy, satisfied, and fulfilled looking back 3 days from now and saying that was totally worth it? What is like the big thing? You can take a second to look at it, but I'd love the internet to chime in. Like, what are the big things you're looking to learn? Because when I say YouTube marketing, that's actually a huge thing. We talk about making videos, we can talk about getting traffic, where to send that traffic, what to say in our videos, how to edit them, all that type of stuff. So there's a lot we can cover these 3 days.
Okay. Well, what I'm really wanting to learn is exactly what you're going to be teaching. That's how to drive traffic. With my topic being educational in nature, I want to put a lot of content out there up front for sure, and really just kind of download my 13 years of experience. I have so much knowledge to pass on. And before I get to worrying about the money or monetization of the product or making a product, and that's what I want to learn from you, and I'm really excited about.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Rachel?
So as a complete beginner, I really want to learn all the steps to making a video happen for myself, and also as a designer and an artist, someone who usually makes things kind of in the quiet of my home, how do I turn that content into something people want to see? How do I bring my knowledge to people in an interesting way? That's kind of been a stumbling block for me. Like, what do I have to say?
Great.
And I still have the problem with time, and knowing a system or seeing systems demonstrated will help me process and figure out how can I schedule this out of my day when I should be in the garage making my product the mill amount instead of sitting in front of a camera.
Doing it all yourself. Yeah.
My goal is just to connect to my clients and attract new clients. So I just want to start and learn the steps that you're going to teach just to make a good video and be clear and concise, yet effective.
Cool.
I'm interested to know, and I don't know if this will apply to a lot of people, but I feel like I'm in an interesting niche because a lot of people are searching for the videos that I create because they don't want to be learning what I'm teaching. They want to watch the video and get out of there as fast as possible because who likes calculus? Nobody likes calculus. So, so most people, I think, you're searching for a video because you're interested in the subject, you want to learn, you're excited. I'm sort of in a niche where it's like, show me what I need to know and let me get away from you as fast as possible. And and I think sometimes in educational spaces like that or how-to spaces like that, you're interested in getting the information and getting off of the video, and I think that's an interesting space. I want to know how to make a video that's still engaging so that people feel like it's easier to learn the content, because if you're real boring and dry, then it's, I think, more difficult to absorb the material. So I think some of the strategies that you'll be able to teach all of us about making a video that's engaging and interesting will help people who are in a space like I am communicate that sort of educational knowledge that maybe people don't even want to be watching, but they're just there because they have to be.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm primarily a writer, and I do these interviews on the side, and I'd love to kind of like get it all organized together to figure out what I should be saying on video. Should I even be doing them apart from the interviews that I do? And then also just like, what are some, and I know you're going to teach this, like you're so good at just distilling all of the stuff into like, okay, but just do this, this, and this. And so if I knew, okay, these are the 3 things I have to do with every video to make sure it's going to show up in the right place and then promoting it in the right way, I think that would be super, super valuable.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks, you guys. We got some
Yeah, you have
interneters.
You have a lot of people participating right now on the internet. Two Thumbs Fresh Production says, I want to lock down a quicker, more efficient workflow. Natalie, MYOB, what are the key elements needed for a complete short video? Quite a few people want to know about the workflow. That's over and over again. And basics, key elements.
What else we got?
We have one gentleman who he says he's in Mongolia, and he says, I'm interested in promoting somebody's product on YouTube, how to get commission from that and develop their brand. We also have how to promote it once it's created, how to build strategic video partners.
How to get traffic to the video again.
And someone said, yes, we do need more hair and makeup video tutorials. So you have a few fans already.
Yes.
You have at least 2 viewers.
Done. Your excuse.
This is going to be huge.
Fillers, I want to know how you personally deal with criticism, trolls, and haters once your video is up.
Trolls.
Trollers.
We start by calling them trolls.
Yes. Mateo says, I'm a producer and I know how to create high quality content. What I would like to know is how YouTube monetization works, CPMs, the differences between ads and how they are paid, etc.
Yep, and followed that with Rainy Day Store. I want to learn how to make videos, but also how to promote my business to make more money.
Yes.
Then expand my second business I have not started yet.
Also, Photographic Elements asks how to create response videos, or maybe
say that one again.
Ask for response videos.
Oh yeah, okay. Video responses.
That's
great. Good.
Jeffrey Sand says, James, looking fresh as usual.
Who said that?
Jeffrey Sand.
All right,
Okay.
Jeff, thanks.
Jeffrey.
Appreciate it. Right back at ya. It's the red pants guy.
And Bob the Teacher, end of video, calls to action and getting them to watch
Bob the
more
Teacher's
videos.
in the house. Okay.
That's a great one.
Sherman wants to know more about outsourcing.
Okay.
We have another troll suggestion. Everyone's like, trolls.
That's
trolls,
so great because
death to the trolls.
Because my videos are so amazing that I don't get any negative feedback. So I didn't even think to come up with anything like that. That is a total lie, by the way. We should really talk about that, because this is why I'm doing this. Because everything else I'm like, yep, we're going to talk about this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But that's one thing that isn't. Do we have any new ones that you haven't seen me right up here?
I think they're all kind of clumping into these categories.
Okay, great.
Maybe one more, excuse me. Siaj speaks elements to making what could be boring video exciting and adding more footage that's not just maybe an art piece.
That's a good one.
Not boring.
Not boring and not just an art piece.
So what we're going to do, I may have sped through a little stuff too fast. What I want to do is I'll talk about two or three of these things up here. That most of this is in my itinerary for the next 3 days. One thing I'm going to bring up really fast, and hopefully we can just kind of squash this right now. And Krista, we'll actually be talking about you. Your videos are monetized. You don't mind sharing how much money you're making from those, do you? Is that too personal? I'm just curious.
That's fine. I think it would help people learn, and I think that's one of the things that the rest of the students here and I were talking about before is I have over 600 videos on YouTube right now, which I think would seem like a lot of videos to people. But I only make I have to quantify this. I say I only because, I want to make a living doing this, a full-time living doing this, and be able to do it full-time, and I'm not able to do that right now because my 600 videos on YouTube make me about $500 a month. So while that's great as a second, a supplement to my income for me right now, it's certainly not close to what I need to be making. And so what
you said 500 or 600 a month?
500. So, and that's, I would say, an average month. My income goes down a lot in the summer because it's an educational space, and it's higher, in December and June around finals time. So it fluctuates, but I'd say that's a pretty good average. So clearly it's not all about volume. You know, don't think that just because you've made a ton of videos that you're going to be doing really well. I'm sitting here learning a ton from James, even though I have more videos than you do.
And more views, and more
and
subscribers.
Views. That doesn't necessarily translate, like you said. There's not a views bank that you go cash in on. It's about, I think, traffic and a product and driving people toward something that they can really sink their teeth into. It's not just videos and views. So,
yeah, and you know, we're not here to necessarily like make this like money-making thing, like here's how much money we make and blah blah blah. But I'm so glad you did share that, because people ask me all the time this monetization question, and since I didn't necessarily plan too much on this, I want to kind of squash it and get rid of it right now. Here's Krista, who's kicking butt on YouTube, doing everything that YouTube would expect of a great YouTube partner. She has 1.5 million views, and she's monetizing those views, which means at the beginning of every one of her videos is an annoying commercial. So before I get to watch your video, which you say your audience isn't really looking forward to anyways, they have to watch a 15-second commercial. Yeah. And you're getting paid $500 a month for that. And to keep that pace up, like, you can't live off of $500 a month. So this is bad, okay? And I mean, we're not gonna talk money today, but I have like not even 700,000 views yet, and I don't monetize my channel, and I never think of it. And that's the funny thing, is people get started and they want to monetize their views, and it's like, you've been doing this for a while, and you have impressive stats, and it's still very unimpressive numbers, monetized wise. So monetization is not the answer. It's integrating this into a specific strategy, which I'm gonna pull up for you guys in a minute. Basically getting them the heck off of YouTube. That's really your goal. And we'll talk about that. We're gonna actually do some hot seat strategy sessions, because at the end of the day, what I love more than YouTube is strategy and the creative brainstorming of where, if you guys can walk away with like, oh, this is how I'm gonna be putting it all together with the whole business, how it all fits together, I'm gonna be way happier. So for anybody who's out there asking that monetization question, the technical terms, and this might get a little confusing for people, but this will be about as technical as it gets this weekend, is that we activate channel monetization, but we don't want to monetize more than 1 or 2 of our videos. So Krista's going to actually go in there once she knows an actual strategy that can replace. Literally, I'm going to hope I can show you something that makes you $500 a day, not $500 a month, with the strategy I'm going to show you. Because you have that traffic. You have that ability. Because you realize when someone clicks on that ad, YouTube and Google are making money, and that advertiser's making a lot of money, and you're not making any. So we're going to flip that. Okay? So what the technical stuff is for people, maybe you just want to write this down and keep it in your notes, is you activate your channel for monetization, but then you only want to select 1 or 2 videos themselves to be monetized. So Chris is going to go in there and you got to probably do it by hand or select each video and unmonetize your videos. If they're monetized, they'll have advertisements on them. When they have advertisements, it distracts and pulls away the viewers from your stuff. That's the last thing we want to be doing. Krista, yes? Yeah,
so just a quick question or clarification. If people are familiar with the monetization on YouTube, you have a lot of different options. You can play a 15-second commercial at the front or a 30-second commercial. You can also have a small pop-up in the middle of the video or near the end of the video, or a commercial that runs at the end of the video. James, are you suggesting that you take all monetization off, every kind of monetization?
Yes, because here's why. And thank you for that clarification. The monetization program is designed to get the clicks. And when you have 1 viewer, they can only do one thing. They're not clicking on an ad while they're going to your website. If they click on the ad, they're gone. You've lost them. And they may never find you again. You maybe, yeah, because you have 600 videos, but they may never find you again. And so you really have to look at it as we have 1 shot. What are we going to do with that 1 shot? We're going to send it to an advertiser that is completely unrelated business that we get pennies for? No, we're going to send them to our stuff. Okay, but we have to make sure the strategy's set up for that. So that was great. That was our little detour. And if there's any questions, you can shout them out, because I know it was a little technical. We want to activate monetization of the channel, and the reason we do that is because it allows you to have some cool extra functions. but you don't want to monetize more than 1 or 2 of your videos. Just to tell YouTube, yes, I'm a monetized partner. And you guys might be going like, what the heck is he talking about? This was like total sidetrack detour, so don't even worry about it. But if people do have questions, they can let me know. What I want to do is dive right in. Was there another one that I'm not going to be? We're pretty much going to be talking about all that stuff for the next 3 days. It's going to be good stuff. What I want to talk about now is the 3-step strategy that I use. So we can do this in 3 steps. And that's going to be really nice. It keeps it clear, keeps it simple. Here's basically how I like to look at it. These are our goals. You're putting up videos to get the views. You're going to convert those views into traffic. And then you're going to convert that traffic into leads and sales in your business. If we can use YouTube as a traffic and list builder, in other words, we're collecting names and email addresses, and we might have a slightly different strategy for Randy because you have a physical product. What's the price point on your product?
20 to 25.
Yeah, you can go for a direct sale right off the bat. So we'll be talking about that. We're going to have a specific strategy for all of you guys, but for most of us, it's going to be the most beneficial if we can get the name and email address. If we can get their contact information, we continue to market and promote to them. So we do that in 3 steps. And you're going to see this slide a lot the next 3 days because I kind of want you guys to ingrain this into your brains. The first step is called video optimization. The second step is video value. And the third step is video aftermath. So if everyone at home write this down, these steps won't make sense yet. I'm going to share it in half a second. But this is basically what we're doing. And we're going to be spending today all on step 1, which I think this is the most important step. But tomorrow I'll be saying that's the most important step. And then the next day, and then the last day. Let me quickly break it down really quickly for you. This still won't make sense for you, but day 1 is, and a few of you guys have already brought it up today, is all about what do I create content about? How do I create content and a strategy so that my stuff actually gets found? Which is so important because so many people, biggest mistake I see is people just say, I want to do YouTube. I'm going to make a video, and then they just throw a dart against the board, and whatever it lands on, they make a video about it. And they're usually way off. And they wonder why they don't get any views. So that's all step 1, and that's huge. That's setting the foundation for all of this to work. Step 2, tomorrow, we're going to talk about the content, creating great videos, and we'll talk everything from what to say in the videos, how to structure the videos, how to make them not boring. That's the front end stuff, but we're also going to discuss the intricacies of how to make this systematized. I'm a huge fan of systems and not spending a lot of time. We should all be valuing our time and not saying, oh, in order to do this, my new job is I'm a video editor. And I got to get really, really good at that too because I don't have enough things on my plate as it is. So we're going to look at the front side of it, of being awesome or making awesome videos, whether or not we want to be in front of the camera, and then the behind the scenes stuff, how to make it simple and easy, how to find other people to do it, because there are a ton of people locally that you can find who are passionate about making videos and they just want to build up their film reel, and for a very small amount, people will be happy to make videos for you. Align yourself with the right people. The last step. This is probably the most exciting stuff we're going to be talking about because if you haven't figured it out, I'm not teaching you how to make a viral video. So none of you guys brought your cats with you, even though that would have been awesome. I don't teach how to make a viral video because I don't think it's possible. And a lot of people, every few months, I always see an article or something that says like, viral video code cracked, proven strategy for reconstructing a viral video. You can't do it. It's not possible. Even brands like Old Spice who have, they've got the like, hello ladies guy. Like that video was such a like amazing internet sensation, inspired a lot of other brands to make videos. If you go back, they've never been able to replicate or expand upon those original results of that first video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's fine. But their first like set of YouTube videos went really viral, and they've never been able to do better than that, which is always very fascinating because in my opinion, a strategy is something that you can replicate, scale, and grow. And if they can't do that, there's these unseen, hidden variables that they don't have control of. So that's not the type of strategy I want to teach a business owner. We want something that anybody can take and say, oh, step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 3 is that magic thing of how we're going to get your videos ranked and found day after day, year after year, which is why I still make sales for a product on bartending 4 years, 5 years later. And that's what should be very exciting, where we can have the results come years down the line. So work up front and results long term. And that kind of addresses the time thing, because now that I think of it, this is one of those tangents I go on, guys. You're going to get a lot of these. When people complain about the time, they go, I'd rather just be on Twitter because it takes me 30 seconds to send out a tweet versus make a video, which could take me 3 hours. Well, where are your tweets from last week? What are they doing for you today? Because my videos are still getting results for me. So if you're willing, which I know you guys are, to take that time up front to do the work, it can have long-lasting results.
All right, so people are just wondering, guest 141, for example, how to stay consistent. Is that something you'll be covering, or is that something you can kind of touch on right now?
We will talk about that, and I think that's a question I'll write down for Marie. Marie has made a video a week for the past 2 years, maybe a little longer than 2 years, and she's close to 3 million views. And I'm the guy who walks around every day and like, be consistent, and then you go look at my YouTube channel. I haven't put up a video in 3 weeks. So do what I say, not what I do, right? So that's a great question. I have some answers for that. Let's get another good one in there, because I want Marie to answer that one.
This one might be for Maria as well, but someone was asking what would be the best content to have as an introductory video. So saying, hey, I'm starting this channel. Yeah. I'll be posting for the next year or so.
Yeah, one of the things that just happened, if you guys are staying up to date with all the YouTube stuff, is they just unleashed a new channel background. And your channel has a whole new design now, which happened the day before I flew out here. So I'm like, great. So I switched over, but don't look at my channel because it's not done and it looks really bad. So now what they're doing, which is really exciting, is you can kind of have this introductory video that welcomes new subscribers. And that's something that's really, really easy to do, really easy to create. And what we'll be talking about in your videos, every time you make a video, you have an intention and a call to action. And so as long with an introductory video, you know what your intention is. Maybe you say, well, I want people to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Well, then you make sure at the end of every single video, or that video, there's a call to action that tells people exactly what to do, why to do it, and how to do it. And don't worry, I will go over this in more detail. But if I were to do an intro video like right now, if you guys were to have never heard of me and you come to my YouTube channel for the first time, I'd say hey, James Wedmore here, and welcome to my channel, James Wedmore TV, where I talk about everything YouTube and video marketing and anything else that interests me. We make goofy videos teaching you about stuff on the internet, and I come out with a new video every week, well, just about every week. So to make sure you catch all my future videos, make sure what you do right now is simply click the subscribe button, wherever it would be. I don't know, right above me, so you can make sure to catch all my upcoming videos. And while you're at it, why don't you click below one of my past videos so you can start getting to work on improving your YouTube marketing for your business. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Simple little videos.
Question from Jimmy Rooney, who asks, what is most important on YouTube? Being different, being better, or being yourself?
Being different, better, or yourself. I feel that when you are yourself, you are different and better. So I feel those are all the same. So maybe just put your first foot forward as being yourself. But there is a caveat, because I don't really think it's great advice for people to say, just be yourself. You want to be yourself times 10. It's not be somebody else, but be I told you guys, I'm the quiet, shy introvert. When I'm not in front of the camera or doing something like this, really, people were like, are you excited or nervous? You're not really talking or saying anything. You're just sitting there with a blank face. And yeah, I know. So there was a great Chris Rock quote that a good buddy of mine shared with, and I'm gonna totally botch it. But basically, he was on an interview, and with someone in the interviewer said, "Chris, you seem so different. This isn't you from who I know up on stage. That's not who you are." And he said, "If people knew the real me, I wouldn't be on stage. I have to be 10 times, or I have to be 3 times me in order to be up on stage." So it's still being yourself, still being authentic, it's still being real. But I'm always going to encourage you guys to crank up the volume. One of the things that I like to say is that the camera, they say the camera adds 10 pounds. That's actually not true. What it is, I went to like the NBC tour in New York, and what they do is because the studios are so small, they stretch out the camera angle or whatever. So people in those studios look wider, but not like a YouTube video. So I don't know if the camera makes you look 10 pounds heavier, but what it does do is it takes away like 50% of your energy. So we are so desensitized by movies and TV that if we were filming, now let's say it this way, if you're watching a TV show and someone was at a coffee shop and they jump on top of the table and they announce something, you go, "Oh, that's kind of funny." But like if you and I were actually at that coffee shop together and I did that, you would freak out and go, "What the heck is wrong with this guy?" We've been desensitized. So when you talk at a normal level, like you and I might have a one-on-one conversation, we're going to be right here. But when people perceive it through the lens, through the filter of the video camera, it's like down here. So it's always going to be encouraging for you guys to just push it up to another level, or 10.
It's kind of stressful. So the camera adds 10 pounds and takes away 50% of your energy?
I said I can't promise the first one. I don't think it does. You can always edit it in post and stretch yourself out, right?
We have a lot of questions. One from Zayn: what resources do you suggest for developing a brand for personalities on YouTube, upcoming YouTube stars, as James calls them, people who are the business product?
What type of resources?
For developing that personality.
I don't necessarily know what they're asking, because resources to me sounds like a very broad term.
I perceived it as kind of just creating where that person is like James Wedmore, you've created a brand around yourself. So I think he's kind of suggesting.
Like when I hear resources, I think
product.
software and websites that I need to know of. So I don't know if that's what they're asking.
Well, Zayn, clarify in the chat room.
Yeah, no, please, clarify, because I want to answer that. The good news is that with all of this stuff, we don't need a lot of resources. YouTube is free. Most of us have access to some sort of camera. Believe it or not, YouTube actually has a free editing program built in once you upload your video. It's very limited, but if you're doing videos on the fly or very simple stuff, it's great. And if you are leveraging your time to find other people to make videos for you, you don't even need to worry about editing resources yourself. So that's the really good news, is we don't need a lot to get started. That's something else I'll address really quick before we get another question in. And I kind of heard it from you guys, I kind of heard it from the internet. People are asking either, how do I make my videos better? Or how do I know if my videos are good enough? And the thing is, at the end of the day, because I've seen so many people not get started because they see like someone like Marie's video and they say, well, like, if it's not as good as Marie, I don't want to put it up yet. And it's pretty much impossible to do that, because the amount of the whole practice makes perfect or makes improvement, until you dig in and get in the trenches, like you can't make something better that doesn't exist. So it really is about starting with where you're at and then seeing, is this good enough for my brand? Is this good enough to show to the world? Because you are going to be your harshest critic. No one else will. All the things you're saying in your head or will say in your head, like no one else says, like 10% of that. And we'll get to those haters and trolls. Those are always fun. So you always start with where you're at. And we can always, that's what I'm always doing. Like I look back at a video 2 years ago and it was awesome for me then. I was like, this is a pretty good video. And now I'm embarrassed about it. So you always need to be, with everything, not just making a video, but everything you're doing in your life is, how can I make this better? How can I improve this? How can I make this more awesomer? I'll be saying awesomer a lot over the next 3 days. So what else? We got more
So awesomer be the quote
A's
of
to my
the day.
Q's? What?
Awesomer will be the quote of the day.
Yeah, well, yeah. Make awesomer videos.
I like this question from the Rainy Day Store. Should you combine personal video posts alongside business video posts? I think that goes back to my last
like
question.
mixing personal with business. The answer is based off a case-by-case scenario, because I'm going to always recommend to everybody, I mean, it's called YouTube because it's about you. And what I discovered is the more I kind of pulled back the curtain, and I'll be showing you guys specific examples of this, and just kind of became this real, authentic, like, this is me, this is my life, hey, this is what I'm doing today, this is what I like. I mean, my buddy, who we're going to be showing him today, he was someone who really helped me see the world of YouTube from the YouTube superstar side. He has 110 plus million views on his YouTube channel. He's been doing YouTube since the first year of its inception. It's all he does. He doesn't own a Facebook. He doesn't own a Twitter. It's his entire business, and he makes his videos of him flying around little remote control airplanes. And he does extremely well. And I remember watching one of his videos, and at the end of his video was him, and he has a parrot. And the parrot was him on his arm, and he's just talking to the parrot, and the parrot's just like, "Bark, bark," and he's just like doing it back to it, and they're having this conversation. It goes on for like 45 seconds at the end of his video. So here are people coming to his video because they want to learn about how to fly the right remote control airplane, like what's the right model for them, how much they need to spend and buy and all that stuff. And they stay for him and this talking parrot. And then you go look in the comments. They're like, oh, that was the coolest parrot. What kind of parrot? What kind of bird is that? That's amazing. So there's a right way to it, to answer that question in a long, drawn-out way. There's a right way to integrate your story, your personal experience, and everything that you do as a normal human being that makes you unique, makes you you, makes you likable, into the business and the message that you're sharing. And on the third day, we have a very good friend of mine, Stu McLaren, who is the founder of a little piece of software out there called Wishlist Member and Rhino Support, which they're not little, they're huge. And he's going to be talking on the topic of visual storytelling, which is actually like my favorite topic, because it's how we can bring the story element, whether it's your story, your product story, the story of one of your students, customers, etc., bring that to life and really be able to connect with your audience. So there's so much stuff that can happen here, and that's really why I get so excited about YouTube. Is like, yeah, I can share you a 3-step strategy, you know, and you go, oh, I know exactly what to do. But this is very left-brained. This is the left brain of it. This is the mathematics side. This is the how-to. This is the step-by-step. But what we're going to be doing is layering on top this entire right brain creative side. And that is like all up to you. As much imaginative and fun and creative you want to get is what is possible with YouTube and can make that work. And that's what I'm always doing, is like, I don't start anymore with like, what kind of topic should I come up with? It's like, what crazy dumb idea do I have at the moment that I've like thought of in the shower, driving, or whatever, and then how can I connect that with the strategy? Okay, so I'm just so excited. So we have any other awesome questions?
No, you're doing great. We do. We have a question that I think kind of relates to Randy. I know Randy has a physical product, and we've had
Do you have it with you right now? Oh, it's just in his shirt pocket. That's so cool. Yeah, no big deal.
I know.
Yeah, it's a smartphone mount for. I have an iPhone here, but it's in a case.
Use mic.
Oh, sorry. So it's a smartphone mount, and I have an iPhone here, but it's in a case. Most contraptions like this require you not to have a case or a specific case. So this fits most phones, including the Samsung Galaxy S3, hopefully the S4 whenever that comes out. But yeah, it was funded on Kickstarter in November, was manufactured in January, and it was shipped out to all of the backers in last month. So now it's a product, and I need to figure out what to do with it from here.
And what was the question for Randy? Can I take a look at it?
It was just related to Randy in the sense that a few people are asking about physical products and how to create videos that sell them. So
oh yeah, no, that's great. And that's why we're excited to have Randy, because yes, even though this is a video related thing, you know, I don't want that to people to get stuck on that. It doesn't matter what the physical product is, there is a way we can sell it on YouTube, and this is really cool. The tripod's right in there.
And it's also a windshield mount for GPS.
No
and
way.
Desktop stand.
Yeah, okay, because I saw in your video you had it up there. That's great. I'm really excited.